Hi, thank you so much for joining us for Facebook Login and Account Kit, Sign Up Landscape Trends and Products with Raman and Olga. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raman. I'm a researcher on our Facebook Login and Account Kit team.
Oh. And I'm Olga, engineering manager in the same team.
That's us. What about you? Quick show of hands. How many of you in the audience are developers, engineers? All right. How many of you are product managers? Raise them high. Let's see those product managers. Fantastic. How about marketers, advertisers? All right, we've got a good bunch of marketers and advertisers. Any researchers or designers like me here? All right, great. Well, it is great to know who's in the audience and who's part of our Facebook family. Thank you for joining Olga and I today.
So the reason that I'm up here talking to you guys today is when I was joining Facebook 2 years ago, I was thinking about what team should I join? At Facebook, engineers pick teams. And I was thinking about what are some of the problems that I really want to solve? What is something that gets on my nerves quite a bit? And for me, it's usernames and passwords. I personally, I don't know about you, but I forget what username I used for different websites, what password I created, and I often get locked out. And it's a really frustrating experience. So I joined this team so that I can help solve this problem. And the team originally supported just Facebook Login when I joined. And since I have time, I've spent time digging into and learning everything there is to know about this landscape. Last year, I was actually up here bringing you Account Kit, which is Facebook's phone number and email login-based solution. This year, we're here to talk to you about all of the different market trends that we see in the sign-up world and to give you product updates based on what we've heard over the past year. And since I'm an engineer, there'll be some coding demos because those are always fun. Many of you here today, as we saw, are probably business owners or developers, but you're also consumers. So for a minute, put on your consumer hat and think about what are the very first times that you go and interact with businesses. Like you might be interacting them on mobile devices, on VR and TVs, on desktops. And think about the very first interaction that you have with that business. It was most likely the sign-up flow. This is one of the very first touch points that a person has with a prospective, when they're a prospective customer. It's a very simple first step, but there's a lot of things to consider when you're going and helping that person decide what they're going to do. Our team has to think about how to create the best experiences for both the consumer and the business, keeping in mind the decisions that they make and their preferences.
Hi again, I'm Raman, and I lead research for our Facebook Login and Account Kit team. These products help businesses and consumers connect, and this is a very critical component for every business. I'm sure many of you can understand that. And there's also lots of challenges with running a business, and this is personally something that I know all too well. You see, prior to joining Facebook, my husband and I ran a small business. It was an indoor golf facility, and we ran this business for several years. And I wore multiple hats. I handled a variety of aspects of the business, from figuring out the business and marketing strategy, to calculating the monthly accounting and payroll taxes, to being the front desk person saying, hey, how are you? How can I help you today? To even washing the windows at the golf center. But guess what was the most difficult thing for us to figure out? We struggled to find an easy way to connect to our customers and to get them to sign up. Customer acquisition and engagement was incredibly hard for us. It was more difficult than calculating our darn payroll taxes. And we spent a lot of time figuring out, how do you get people in through the door? What's the best way for our customers to sign up on our website? And once they do sign up, how do we know them so that when they walk into the door, we actually can personalize that experience for them and make it a great experience so they keep coming back. We were flooded with all these questions at all aspects of the stages of our business. And these decisions could ultimately make or break our business. We weren't alone. In fact, these challenges plague businesses and developers all around the world. And I know how hard these challenges can be. In fact, it's one of the main reasons I decided to join the Facebook Login and Account Kit team. And like so many other business owners out there, my husband and I really wanted to find a good, meaningful way to connect to our customers, get them to sign up, so they keep coming back. Now, as I wear my researcher hat at Facebook, and along with our team, our Facebook Login and Account Kit team, we set out to learn more about these challenges so we can help these connections become easier for businesses and their customers. Today, Olga and I are going to cover 3 areas. We're going to talk about the research insights that helped us understand this diverse login landscape, the Facebook core solutions that help address these needs, and highlight new product updates and improvements for both Facebook Login and Account Kit. And tomorrow you can learn more, so please check out the talk that Amelia and John will be giving on how to build meaningful customer connections with Facebook. They'll talk more about the end-to-end journey as well. But now let's go ahead and dive in. And first talk about the landscape, the research insights, and the trends that we're seeing around people's sign-up preferences. This is really important to us. It influences every aspect of our design and how we build these products. And we hope that these discoveries that we've learned about and that we're going to share with you will jumpstart ideas on ways that you can further improve your sign-up experience for your customers. It's really important for us to understand the world of our customers. And over the last few years, our team has traveled around the globe to understand how people and businesses use our products, from major cities to rural areas to multinational businesses, and even meeting with the 2 gals running a startup. Click, okay. And we met with over 300, here we go. Give me 1 second. Clicker. Okay, here we are. Back on track. We met with over 300 businesses, developers, and consumers to more deeply understand their business and what people look for when it comes to signing up in an app. And for Facebook Login and Account Kit, we conduct numerous studies throughout the year. And these research studies range from large-scale quarterly surveys to in-depth one-on-one interviews to help us get to understanding those core needs. And we do this both locally and globally. And we learned that the global landscape is changing. It's evolving. And the login landscape is evolving. We've also worked very closely with many, many partners. And we want to give a shout out to our partners and thank them for sharing all their ideas and feedback with us along the way. We'll share and highlight some of these stories in a bit, but now let's just jump right into the trends and insights that we've uncovered. Now, what drives people to use a particular login method over another? Any guesses? Well, the number 1 reason why people choose a way to log in is convenience. Now, what does convenience mean in this context of login and sign up? Convenience means that there is no need to create a password, especially when it's with the account that you use most often on a daily basis. It is the number 1 reason for people's sign-up preference on their mobile devices. In fact, our quarterly preference survey, when we asked people, why do you choose a particular login method? The results from this survey inform us consistently that convenience is of paramount importance. People also really care about being able to control what they share, and they want to trust that their information is safe. We've designed Facebook Login and Account Kit to take care of all of these important things that are important to businesses and consumers. So we know now that convenience is key for consumers. But what is the biggest barrier to convenience when consumers need to sign up? What gets in the way of sign up? It's usernames and passwords, especially passwords. Passwords are a downright pain. And passwords get in the way of convenience. And you can think of passwords as like you're trying to you can think of passwords as being a moat that you're trying to get to in a castle. And that's what it feels like. How many times have you forgotten your password? How does it make you feel? I don't know about you, but when I forget my password, it makes me feel very vulnerable. It makes me feel lame, and I get very frustrated. And this seems to happen at that moment in time when I'm in a rush, too, and I don't have time to reset my password or fill in things over again. We hear the same things from customers in our research sessions, and we hear this time and time again. In fact, we hear this from Olga, who dislikes passwords so much, it's the whole reason she joined the team. So people despise passwords, right? And they despise these passwords due to all those darn requirements. Uppercase, lowercase, characters here, no characters here. And you throw CAPTCHA into the mix, and you can just forget about it. They dislike passwords, they're hard to remember, and they're less secure. Yes, folks, passwords are less secure. Not only are they a pain for people, but they're also very problematic for businesses. They can have a real impact on a business. In fact, a 2016 study by Gigia in the United States and in the United Kingdom shared that 68% of people abandon the creation of an online account due to all the complex password requirements that are required. And another 55% simply jump ship and abandon a login page because they forgot their password or answered a security question incorrectly. Requiring a password also means that businesses need to put systems in place to make sure that those passwords don't leak and they're stored correctly. And again, this is super important for business and developers because these can have significant liability issues. Okay, so we've talked about the importance of convenience, and we've talked about those pitfalls of the dreadful password. Now let's talk about the login preferences. So Olga, tell us about how people's sign-up preferences have changed.
Thanks, Raman. We regularly survey people all around the world to understand what their preferences are for account creation and sign-in. And what we found is that Facebook Login consistently ranks in the top 3. However, there is a strong preference towards email. And the login landscape does continue to shift. We're seeing that there is a very increasing trend towards login with phone number. Supporting data gives us reason to believe that this is because smartphones are the primary way in which people all around the world are coming online. Smartphone usage accounts for over 52% of internet usage worldwide. Given this, it's arguably easier and more convenient to think about your phone number when you're logging in from your mobile phone. We also have data that shows us that many people around the world do not use their email address or might not even have one. So to build for global success, we highly recommend adding phone number as a login method. We've seen the same trend in our own Facebook app. More people are choosing to log in with phone number over email in certain regions on actual Facebook. This is especially prominent in areas such as Africa or Asia Pacific, where some of these regions see up to 40% of people logging in via phone number. I want to note that myself, I'm from Seattle, which is in the US, and the US is the bar all the way in the bottom. So I might not see that trend where I live and with those around me, but it's very prevalent around the world. And that's why it's really important to go and conduct research outside of where you live. To reach a global audience, you need to get a better sense of the trends, the behaviors, and needs of people all around the world. For example, those of you in the room that live in North America like myself, you're a very small part of the world population, so we need to look at the larger picture. So, all right, let's look at the insights that we've covered so far. Convenience is key, and it's very closely tied to passwords. Passwords are terrible for user experience and security. And phone number login is on the rise. And it's very important to think about outside of what comes naturally to you, where you live. With all of these preferences and trends, we've been working on getting the right balance between what consumers and businesses want from a sign-up relationship. So, what are businesses doing about all of this? Businesses find it challenging to pick login methods. They've had to spend time and money to implement their own solutions. They struggle to go and put a good system in place to verify accounts. And they might have to use a third-party solution that might have high SMS costs or SMS deliverability issues.
Given all these insights, let's go into the solutions that we have built to address these findings. First, we're solving for convenience with our products, and we got rid of that dreadful password problem that people loathe so much. Facebook Login eliminates the need to enter a username and password, and it's very popular for its ease and convenience. And as a developer or a business owner, you also get basic information such as email and public profile about your customer when they sign up with Facebook. And sometimes you may even choose to ask for additional information so you can personalize and customize that experience. Now, while Facebook Login remains a popular choice for signing in, our survey data also shows us that email login is also among people's top options. And Olga spoke earlier about the ever-increasing need to provide a solution to sign up with a phone number. Now, you can use both Facebook Login and Account Kit to address these needs. And by using both of these products, Facebook Login and Account Kit, which includes email and phone number, you can cover over 95% of people's top 2 sign-up preferences. Let me just pause here for a second and let that number sink in. 95%. If I knew that Facebook Login and Account Kit could reach a majority, almost all the customers at our business, we would have adopted these in a heartbeat. And these 2 solutions can give you the ability to reach your audience, freedom to focus on your business, and grow your business. Optimizing for a sign-up solution that is relevant and fits your market opens up a potential for new people that might not already sign up or be using your app. Now, when Couchgram adopted Account Kit, they saw an increase in their user base. The entire area on your right of the chart is all new people. Some of them migrated over from other sign-up options, but this is entirely all new people. Couchgram implemented Account Kit, and it gave people a choice that worked best based on their preferred method. And by doing this, they saw an immediate lift in signups, and you can also reach a new set of customers by simply giving them those sign-up options at the point of need that match their preference. Now let's take a look at another example. Smule. Smule is a social music making app. They implemented Account Kit's phone number along with Facebook Login. And while we encourage using both Account Kit and Facebook Login together, They're not required for the other to work well. You can use them independently or together. They're complementary systems. And people can choose to log in with Facebook phone, Facebook login, phone, or email, all without a password, which is more secure. Let's check out how this experience plays out in Smule. I'm in the mood to sing in karaoke, and I have the option in Smule to use Facebook login, phone, or email. I choose phone number because it's the most convenient for me. Unlike passwords, I can actually remember my phone number. So now I open up my Smule app, and I choose phone number, and it'll ask me to enter my phone number, so I'll punch in my phone. And once I do that, I get an SMS code to verify my phone number. So here I'll enter my SMS code, and if you're on an Android and you have certain permissions set, it's even more seamless because it'll automatically fill in. Now my code is verified, and voila, I'm ready to sing a song or two. Over to Olga to tell us a bit more about what's behind all this magic.
Great. So I'm going to talk through some of the very basic implementation for AccountKit for Android. I'm an Android developer. But all of this is available to you in Android, iOS, JavaScript, and Basic Web. So check that out in our docs. And this is just me coding in Android Studio, just a recording off of that. Before we get to this Gradle file, in order to set up AccountKit, you can go and create a new application in the developer portal, and you can add AccountKit to it, or add AccountKit to an existing application. From that, you'll go and get the app ID, the client token, and the app secret, which we're going to use in a little bit. We highly recommend using CocoaPods or Maven for pulling in the SDK, such as here. And the AccountKit SDK is separate from the Facebook SDK, so you can use them together or you can use them separately, such as here. AccountKit only requires the internet permission. And here I'm just setting up some of the very basic metadata that AccountKit requires, which is just the app ID, the client token, and the app name. And now we're going to go about implementing the actual button that somebody is going to press to go into the AccountKit flow. As a developer, you're completely in charge of what this button has on it. So you can have it say whatever makes sense for the sign-up experience for your business. In this case, it's just a sample app, so I'm creating a very simple button that says login with phone number, and on click, it's going to call on login phone. Moving over to our activity, AccountKit can be implemented with fragments or activities. In this case, we're using an activity. We're going to implement the on login phone function. AccountKit operates off of intents. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is create an intent for the AccountKit activity. After we've created that intent, we're going to go and give it some configuration that will tell it what to do. And we provide a configuration builder for you to make that all easy, and it's Java, so pardon the very long lines. So the only two configuration options that AccountKit requires is the login type, which is phone or email. In this case, we'll use phone number, and the response type, which is token or code. Having a token response type means an access token is going to be returned to you at the end of the login flow. If you use code, then an access code will be passed back to you, which then you'll pass to your server and using your app secret exchange out for an access token. We highly recommend using the code flow if your app has a server-side component, but in this case, this is just a sample app, so we're using token. So now we go and build this configuration, we add it as an extra to our intent, and we're on our way. So at this point in time, the AccountKit flow has started. All of that experience you just saw would happen, but we actually want to get back the result that will tell us about what happened and all of the information. AccountKit communicates back via onActivity result. So we're just going to go and pull out the login result out of the data and go and examine what it has in it. So once we open it up, we're going to go and find out what happened. Great. Cool. So the result is going to have the access token, a code if we use the code flow, if there was an error, if there was any user cancellation, and it's also going to have the access token refresh interval. Access tokens do expire, but you can go and extend their expiry time by calling get current account in case of Android. So if you do that within the minimum refresh interval, a person doesn't have to go through this flow again. And if I was to run this, this is the result that I would get. This is our most basic account kit UI, and there's no customization that is used here. And for many businesses, this is sufficient. And we'll talk more about customization a little later. So let's run through some of the key features of Account Kit since we've looked over how the basic flow works. First of all, Account Kit is currently free. You can go and match the look and feel of your app by customizing Account Kit with basic and advanced customization options. We know that it's really important to understand your audience, the demographics, and what their preferences might be. So Account Kit comes with analytics. And to make things more convenient, we offer a backup Facebook notification option that can be used to complete the login process. There's also the Preferences API, where 100 different keys per account can be stored, with each one holding up to 1 kilobyte of data. And all of this is available to you on Android, iOS, JavaScript, and Basic Web, making it available across multiple surfaces.
Now, let's go ahead and talk about some new exciting updates and features that are now available with Account Kit and Facebook Login. We'll talk about the product improvements and updates grouped into 4 main areas: different surfaces that you might be entering in a sign-up flow on, the importance of conversion rate once you're in a sign-up flow, understanding your audience with analytics, and tying this all together, how you can implement this easier and learn about it. Let's talk about the additional surfaces, the different platforms, because we know that your business might not just be working or running on a phone or a website today. In this evolving landscape, you might be using services such as Messenger, bots, free basics, and even televisions, and more. Today, we're really excited to introduce Basic Web SDK. This is available for Account Kit that doesn't use JavaScript. This works in cases when JavaScript might be disabled and on free basics. Here's an example from one of our beta partners, Funzy. They provide learning content for people who want to learn new skills in a fun and practical way. Funzy uses the Basic Web SDK for Account Kit, and they can provide a more convenient way to sign up for their customers, be it if their customers are in Finland or Kenya. You can try out the Basic Web SDK. Check out our documentation on our developer's website for more information. And TVs are proliferating. We've released improvements to our TV login experience. We're introducing a faster and easier Facebook login experience to the big screen. Previously, people needed to enter a confirmation code on their phone or browser to log in with Facebook on their TV. Now you can see, for example, here with Tinder, how they've utilized this for the big screen. The SDK can communicate directly with the Facebook app over the same wireless network. And this lets people sign into their TV with just a few taps. Now you can easily connect to the big screen and log in, and you can swipe left or right and find your match. Bots. These are automated tasks that are gaining lots of popularity and interest with businesses and consumers. In fact, we've received lots of inquiries and interest on how you can leverage these connections that you've made using both Facebook Login in your app and how to engage with these customers on Messenger bots. We are so thrilled to announce that for businesses that own an app and a bot on Messenger, you can now more easily make this connection happen and engage your customers across both these channels. A new API endpoint allows you to recognize a customer in your Messenger bot if they also have logged into your app with Facebook. Now, I love movies. And as Ime said, let's talk about the other F8 for today, right? I'm a Fast and Furious franchise fanatic, I kid you not. And one of the first things I plan to do after F8 is to go watch Fate of the Furious. Here's an example of how bots and Messenger could improve my movie-going experience. I log into Facebook I log in using my Facebook on my Fandango app, and I can buy 2 tickets for myself and my husband, and I get the information I need right in my Messenger. And then I can just go to the movie theater and show my tickets on my phone in Messenger, and bam, there it is. This is exactly how simple and convenient I want my movie-going experience to be. No more waiting in lines, no more printing tickets. This is fast and not furious by any means.
Moving down the funnel, we know that when you sign up to use a login solution that is not built in-house, you're entrusting that service with optimizing conversion rate. We've got conversion rate improvements today for both Facebook Login and Account Kit. Show of hands. How many of you have ever experienced SMS delivery issues? Wow. Most folks. And those SMSs cost money. And we can help alleviate some of those issues and problems and concerns. With Account Kit, we provide instant verification, which makes the phone number experience even faster for people with fewer SMSs sent. This is an example from Pactor, who is a dating app in Asia. And Pactor has saved $250,000 a year in SMS fees by implementing Account Kit. That is a lot of money. So let's go through the instant verification flow from their experience. People entering instant verification will go and select phone number login and enter in their phone number as before, but if they are on Android and have that phone number verified on their Facebook app on that device, their account will be automatically verified, and they don't have to go and wait for an SMS to arrive and type in that confirmation code. They can go right into using the application. And there's no link that's created between their Facebook account and the Account Kit account. This is just for verification. Early tests show that 97% of people entering an app through instant verification have logged in successfully. That's 97%. And to get the benefit of this, all you need to do is upgrade your SDK, and there's no extra code required. We're happy to say that top partners for Account Kit see conversion rates of up to 90%. For example, one of our partners, Familionet, is using Account Kit and is already benefiting from these features. Initially, their team rolled out Account Kit to 20K new users and instantly saw great results. The global success rate for Account Kit phone number-based solution was 78%. And they increased its onboarding, the whole app's onboarding conversion rate by more than 40%. Additionally, we've heard for Account Kit that extra ways to go and verify a phone number other than SMS are extremely important. And we already avoid sending SMS via instant verification. When we launched Account Kit last year, we started off with providing Facebook fallback notifications, which will send the confirmation code to the Facebook account associated with a given phone number, and so they can go and log in via that. Again, there's no link that's created between the Facebook account and the Account Kit account. As of today, we offer backup verification via voice call. A person can select to enter it if they're waiting for an SMS to arrive, such as on this page. This is an example from the Bangladesh Government National Emergency Service, who has already started benefiting from this feature. This is how it works. A person will enter in their phone number, and an SMS is going to be sent to them. But at this point in time, maybe they're in a poor connectivity area, it's going to take a while for that SMS to arrive, or maybe they simply have SMS notifications disabled and they don't notice it. So they can go and select from a variety of options of how else to get the code. And if they go and select voice, they will get a call with that confirmation code, they'll enter it, and voila, they're ready to go. What could have been a very frustrating experience is now a delightful one. All of this is available in our Android and iOS SDKs, and there is no code that is required for you to do that. And all of this comes at no additional cost to you.
We've also made improvements to Facebook login conversion rate. For Facebook login, we found that many people are faced with not actually being able to getting logged in with Facebook when they try to use it. 10% of the time, clicker issues today, 10% of the time, they will drop off without entering any credentials. We have now created ways for people to complete the Facebook login flow using their Facebook credentials in Facebook Lite and Chrome custom tabs. This is for Android users and for those with Facebook Lite on their device. This is how it works. The SDK will pull the login credentials from the Facebook Lite app instead of prompting a login through a web view. Basically, when somebody logs in with Facebook Lite, they don't have to enter their credentials. There's an 80% increase in login success rates for people using Facebook Lite compared to web-based mobile browsers. And for Android users who do not have the Facebook app on device, but have Chrome app, we've added more ways to ensure that people who have logged in Facebook session in Chrome. This pulls the login credentials with the Chrome session and logs in. And to enable this, basically you just add this little bit of code to your Android manifest. And in the few months since launch, for people on Android who are not logged in to the Facebook app but have Chrome, we've seen a 45% improvement in successful logins when Chrome custom tabs are enabled. We've also been working on improving the experience that somebody faces when they enter the Facebook login dialog. We're constantly learning, iterating, and testing to improve the experience for customers when they're on different surfaces. And we look for ways to further help the businesses improve their conversion rates across different platforms. Let me just highlight a few of these that you might find interesting and helpful for your business. Here's an example from Eat24, a restaurant food delivery service. They use the updated dialog that somebody sees when they open up the Facebook login on their desktop. Here, it's easier and clear for people on a desktop to see the choices and take action. Optimizing the design for different experiences on mobile and desktop greatly improves the customer experience and gets people in through the door faster. And for apps on Android asking only for public profile and/or email for Facebook login, we ran a successful test with a simpler UI, and this showed positive results. Here's an example from Wish, and you can see how they've implemented this. You can get this experience for your customers by only asking for up to these 2 permissions, and this makes sign-up more convenient for your customers and gives you the basic information that you need on your end. Here's a great example of balancing the needs for consumers and businesses. And with all of these experiments and using best practices, top partners see conversion rates above 90%. And the first thing that somebody does when selecting a login mechanism is to click on a button to denote which method they would like to use. Based on our own testing and feedback from partners, we've updated our Facebook login buttons. For native SDK buttons, SDK login buttons, there is no code change necessary when the developer upgrades the SDK. But please note that with this new size, developers should check to make sure that the new button fits correctly in the UI. And to help developers personalize their user web's experience, even before they click on the login button, we've created a new login button for JS SDK. And this renders the user's profile picture and name. If the person has a logged in session, then the button utilizes the person's profile picture and name. Otherwise, it'll default to our standard continue with Facebook text. We have seen some amazing results with partners like GoFundMe. They've seen a 65% increase in successful signups with Facebook, and other partners like Pinterest have seen a 37% increase in Facebook signups. Now Olga is going to tell you how you can implement this button.
Great. So in JavaScript, we provide a configurator within our docs that you can use to go and figure out what the code will be that you need to go and implement this button. So looking at this configurator, you can go and change what the button text is. It can be login with Facebook or continue with Facebook. We highly recommend continue with Facebook. You can also enable the experience that Raman just showed you, where you can have a person's name and profile picture as part of the button. You can go and select from a variety of different sizes. We've got small, medium, and large. And you can go and change around the width of the button so it fits with the rest of your UX. Once you have an experience that you really like, you can go and get the code for it. You can simply go and paste in this code into your application, and you're good to go. To work on conversion and trust for people who are sharing information with pages, we're allowing for people to customize what pages and other management permissions they're sharing. Now somebody asking for managed pages will see a brand new flow that we've built to optimize for page and other management permissions. When a person goes to edit the info being provided, they can now have an option to view which pages they're coming along. If they don't want to bring along all of their pages, they can uncheck those that they do not apply. All that they care about in this case is the YumFresh page. This gives the person peace of mind and greater trust in the app. Okay, we've talked a lot about conversion as part of initially logging in with Facebook Login and Account Kit. But what about the re-login experience? Whether you've gotten a new device or perhaps you've reinstalled an application. To solve for this, Express Login is now available on Android with Facebook Login. This makes it possible to detect if a person has logged into your app with Facebook before. It notifies a person if they've logged in and allows for them to get right on into using the app. This avoids duplicate accounts and helps people avoid the hassle of having to remember which login method did I use. With all of this great conversion rate, we know that you're giving up some of the control when you use an external login source, and we want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on. Since Account Kit comes with a UI, businesses really want to see what is going on in every step of the way. We already offer analytics for Account Kit, including aggregate demographic information, but now we're bringing you more. You can now slice and dice, for example, based on country code, as this example here, of a given phone number to track conversion rate by region. And in addition to some basic funnels we previously had, we have now given you deeper funnels where you can look into your conversion rate at a more granular level. We have also added analytics for Account Kit in the JavaScript and basic web SDKs, so you can look at the very full picture across all these different surfaces. Now let's dig into how to get all of this implemented and integrated. First of all, we're in the business of working with SDKs, and there are a lot of recommendations out there for that, so I'd recommend checking out the recording of Best Practices for Integrating Facebook Technologies into Your Product by Stephen and Claire for that. But one that we hear a lot about, especially for Account Kit, is size. This could be particularly important if you're targeting emerging markets or people who are mindful about how much data that they're getting. With all of this great conversion rate, we know that you're giving up some of the control when you use an external login source, and we want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on. We can limit the SDK to include only the languages required. Our SDKs are translated in over 45 languages for a huge global audience. But for example, if your app is only in one country with one language, you probably don't need all of those. So you can remove the rest. For Android projects, we recommend using ProGuard. It's a free Java optimizer that detects and removes unused code and shrinks the size of your binaries. In this sample app, you can see the effect of using these optimizations. And we've reduced the footprint of the main SDK on Android here by over 70%. Now let's talk about implementation. We've heard that customization for AccountKit, though robust, can take a long time to go and implement. So we've made it easier for you. We've simplified the basic AccountKit customization as well as added more skins that you can use. And here's some of these examples. So let's walk through how to get that implemented. We're going back to the sample app that we were looking at earlier, and as a reminder, if we just run that, we would have gotten that light blue experience. But now we're going to go and implement a skin manager. And we're going to tell it what type of skin we'd like to use. In this case, we're going to select contemporary. And what color would we like for the UI to be themed as? In this case, we've selected black. And then we're going to go and pass in the skin manager into the configuration object, and the AccountKit flow knows what to do. If we run this, this is the result that we get. And if we selected the translucent skin, this is what it would be. And classic, which is the default, here it is. And if you change the color, that would be reflected across all of the UI. An image as a background can be a really great way to get your brand across. In order to have that happen, you're going to go and add a few more parameters to the skin manager. You're going to go and give it a drawable of the actual image that you'd like to have. So in this case, we're going to use a beautiful sunset. And you're going to go and provide a tint and intensity. It's either black tint or white tint. If we run this, this is the result that we'll get. And if we did a white tint, it would be this. Now you have less code to write, and you can provide more customizations. We believe that this easy integration will work beautifully for most developers. But if you want to go and spend more time tweaking how the flow is going to look, you can still use the advanced UI to provide for experiences where you can go and insert full fragments or views into most of the components on the screen. The fragments that are denoted in red here are completely under your control. You can still use the color customizations as well as background images for the other areas. Here are some of the examples of what you can do with this experience, where you can add progress bars, extra links, different headers, lots of different things. We've also updated the UI for the JavaScript SDK to make it easier to implement. You can now simply select a single color for the UI. If you would like to go and customize it further, the advanced option is still available for you, such as in this example with Pinterest.
We've also made it easy as possible for you to understand what it would take to implement the products. So we're introducing a new online course that we've put together with Audacity. And with this course, you can now walk through how to integrate AccountKit and Facebook Login on iOS and Android. These courses are free, and they're not gated, so please go check them out. And you can do that by going to audacity.com/Facebook.
Now let's look at the summary of what we've built to help businesses and customers connect. Our products are available on multiple surfaces, such as basic web, TVs, Messenger, so you can sign up and create connections all over the world. Conversion rate. That's really the bottom line of your business, and we're here to help improve that with improvements for both Facebook Login and AccountKit.
Transparency, understanding your business and customers, so you can now do that with analytics in AccountKit. And it's also easier to learn and get started with these products, so you can be up and running and focus on your business.
Convenience is number one for our customers, and it's important to think about outside the comfort zone of what comes naturally to you where you live.
And by implementing Facebook Login and AccountKit, which includes email and phone number, remember, you can cover 95% of people's top 2 sign-up preferences. And in closing, we want to share a quick story about BattleText. They integrated AccountKit in 2017, in January, and initially they had reservations about including phone number as a sign-up option. They assumed that other people's behaviors would be the same as their own. They don't use phone number to log into services, so they assumed their customers wouldn't use it either. But BattleText decided to give AccountKit a shot, and they integrated it alongside with their other sign-up options. And once they implemented AccountKit, they found that 44% of logins were by phone number. Their customers loved this option, and BattleText told us that their minds were blown. So using AccountKit, in addition to Facebook login, they saw the number of signups increase from 24 to 46%. And they had a winning combination with this because they used Facebook login and AccountKit, phone number and email. They implemented and had it complement their existing systems. And another important thing to note is that they did not gate the sign-up experience, and they made it super easy for people to get into the app, play the game, and then presented the sign-up experience at the point of need. And this was a win-win situation for their business and their customers. In closing, we hope that learning more about some of the research insights, the trends, and the product demos given by Olga, and all these exciting product updates and feature improvements will help you out so you can focus, reach the audience, and grow your business.
So check out our docs on our developer page for both Facebook Login and AccountKit, and please come by our booth at the Developer Garage for the rest of the day and as well as tomorrow. We've got a bunch more product team members that would love to meet you. Thank you very much.